So I was wrong about some very significant thing, but I still see how it's like not my fault. I see how like everybody is kind of wrong in a way, but uh, right now is like probably the most dangerous time for uh, the American economy because of the Straits of Hormuz have been closed, and Iran is attacking obviously like uh, gas infrastructure, like oil infrastructure. So because it's right there, and because we can't do anything to stop that, then uh, we could be economically or bankrupt like in a matter of weeks. So I don't know if like, because at first it was like you see all the Iranians protesting their government and saying they didn't want to be Muslim anymore. They're not. I mean, it's the same thing if Muslims are occupy Iran as it is if they occupy the Philippines or Indonesia or Africa. You know, it's not their culture, but it's another culture that's bringing in proxies to run their country. And so at first, you know, like side with reason that they should be able to not be Muslim. It's tricky because Islamic can mean different things. It doesn't necessarily have to be Muslim. It's like if your name is Christopher, is that what takes precedent? Is it a English or is it a British name, or is it a Christian name? Like my name Ahmed, is it Turkish or is it Muslim? You know what I mean? And like primarily it's Turkish. Before, but even Turkey is a Muslim nation, but like, you know, England is a Christian nation, but the names are, you know, but we have to watch for Israel to dragging us into this because they have a long game plan to become the global hegemon in the Middle East and take us out. So I don't know, you like I've been watching King AK-47, and he was playing somebody who was predicting everything that was going to happen like two years ago, and play by play, like he's right about everything kind of thing. So if I change my name, it's not any insult to my parents or my, you know, like choosing like to like father name me and everything. It's just because the attitude towards that name, it could become impossible, you know. And I'm more focused on learning about plant knowledge and stuff like that, so that I can survive. And I already had an inclination, even if I couldn't put a finger on it, because I'm always wrong and everybody else is wrong, and it's not our fault because, you know, the like media doesn't tell us, you know, like it's like like you have to hate them more than you think that you need to hate them. You have to hate them more than we do, because they walked us right up into this. Like Israel is trapping us. They're dragging us in to be you know, they want us to have boots on the ground. If we don't put boots on the ground in Israel, in Iran, they're gonna be pissed. But we're gonna have to just say fuck him, fuck him. I didn't understand this, because so it basically turned me into a traitor, but I didn't know, and so I'm not going to have hostility toward anybody who bought in and is essentially going against American interest, the greater American interest. And I'm probably going to choose an Irish name because I have one that means man of the forest, is where I'm gonna have to go live. So Silas, and that's gonna seem strange to everybody. Like, what the hell? Like, I can't call you that. Like, you're Ahmed. Like, you were wrong too. You got tricked too. So I'm not mad at anybody for their opinion, or if they think that's weird or whatever. Study scatter seeding. You know, get a bunch of heirloom seeds as much as you can. I'll tell you, there's 3 websites you should look at. Practice all the different farming techniques that could lend to, because there's going to be food shortages in a very short amount of time, probably. And the reason the food shortages is because food comes back for the oil that goes across the Straits of Hormuz. Gas prices going up is going to drive food prices way up. So you're going to have to get those perennials, not annuals, perennials. You're going to have to change your diet from annual crops to perennials. So there's Baker Creek heirloom seeds at rareseeds.com, strictly medicinal plants, strictlymedicinalseeds.com, sorry, horizonherbs.com, and nativeseeds.org. And because some collapses don't affect or necessarily have to affect everybody, like they could be talking about a collapse that's they're talking about for them, but they're not talking about for everyone. Some more like famine resistant crops would be like Tamarillo, which is better than a tomato. It's basically the same thing with more nutrients, better flavor, and one planting lasts for 15 years, which those yields get increasingly better than like the first couple years. You know, amaranth is going to be essential, just like the Aztecs. You know, there's like mallow and Tapari beans and scorzonera and rutabaga and autumn olive and like, okay. Millet, purslane, because that grows like an invasive, noxious weed, and it's like probably the best thing you could eat. So it won't be illegal to seed vacant lots with purslane, especially since people are going to start figuring out that they can eat it. Like in the beginning, people are going to walk right past it, and they're not, you know. But like winter melon, like the in Mexico they have winter melon. No, that's not Mexico. What is they doing in Mexico? I think it is winter melon. Yeah, it is. It's called winter melon. Like, you know, Mexico doesn't seem like they have much winter, but you're gonna need something that is perennial, that can feed your family for a decade or two. And there's one of the only differences between the reasons that a lot of these plants are not in stores. Usually most of it is because it threatens fertilizer industry, and it threatens the seed markets. But some of things like pawpaw, like there's like it's like a mix between a banana and a mango that grows in you know, it can survive 20 below degrees, but the reason it's not on the shelves is because it starts rotting immediately. You have to consume it almost immediately. Once it falls from the tree, you have to consume it like immediately. But in places like Wisconsin and upstate New York, or like places that are cold, what's it, Lewis and Clark expedition, it's basically saved the Lewis and Clark expedition from uh, having to call it quits much sooner. Um, and most people, practically everybody, has never even tasted it before. But it's supposed to be like the best like flavored fruit like in existence. You should hear the way it's described. I just only wonder, because people have a crazy reaction to the first time they try it, and then they always assume that they're going to be able to find it, but it's not going to be in the store. But okay, so things that you wouldn't know, you would walk right past, like the dust coming off of those certain pine needles, like they don't have a cone, but they have like this like these like, I don't know, it's not a pine cone, but it's like this powder that comes off of the ends of what would be a pine cone, and that's like highly protein, you know, or like something that you get the most nutrition from is something that was toxic but processed. So like something that you do to neutralize toxins, you end up getting a way better food. So you're gonna, I mean, I don't know, I feel like there's a reason why I moved up here. It's because I needed to get away from major metropolitan areas that are just, you're going to be trapped in. And I didn't know why or what could threaten us, and I have no idea, because you know, I always get things wrong and shit. But when things develop that we were misinformed about, things can change really quickly. And the degree to which we couldn't prioritize because, you know, we're worried about, like, dare I say, Epstein files and shit like that. There is something that by magnitude is more important to focus on, and we haven't been, because, you know, who tells you the truth? Like, but there's this guy going viral right now for predicting everything play by play that happened, and the things that Trump was going to say. And it doesn't matter if it's Trump or anybody else. Like, they were going to put somebody in office because, you know, it's Israel. You know, we were going to have somebody picked. So it's like almost like they seen it coming, so they allowed Trump to be elected 4 years later than he would have if he is reelected, because it's like, they don't tell us shit. The whole point of it is clandestine. Why would you tell you something when we're acting clandestinely? And so they don't want to destroy America over here. They want to destroy America in the Middle East. Our ability to exert our what's it called? Enforce our. There's something about enforcement. So they're kind of playing chicken with Iran for the opportunity of becoming a global hegemon, because if you think about it, the only two candidates for the global hegemon in the Middle East would be Iran or Israel. So that's all I was going to say. I don't hate nobody. I'm not looking at Jewish people with a slant eye or anything like that. But I don't know if I could go as Ahmed after a huge collapse like that, and people are paying $19 for gas, and they just don't want to hear a Muslim name. You know what I mean? And I've never been Muslim, and the other reason is because it also can make it look like, oh, you're like you're like a infiltrator, like a cutout, a plant, like a fake what it do, or something like that. And really, it's just because in the 70s, a lot of black people picked Muslim names, like, you know, Omar, Jerome, Jamal, Ahmed. Like mine is really not as common as some of the other Muslim names, but girls like Selena. Like, even in Mexico, like, you have like they picked Muslim names for girls. They have Omar in Mexico. They have some that I don't even aware of. Sabrina, you know, like those kind of names. But people don't really register them as like, you know, they're Islamicists or anything. But there's going to be an eye on anybody with an affinity towards that might be want to like be some kind of sleeper cell, and I don't want to deal with any of it. And I was always, I mean, like as a Christian, you have to believe that Islam is a silly plagiarization and satanic, and you know, like it's not going to be Islam in the reign of Christ, you know, like before, you know, like before the end of the world, like, you know, like everybody thinks that their group is the one that's supposed to rule the world, like, you know, like the Jews, the Muslims, the Chinese, like everybody thinks that it's their place to run the whole world. But you have to believe it's going to be Jesus Christ, because I mean, unless you think that Christianity is a Jewish psyop, or that the ancient world invented Jesus Christ, which that can test your beliefs, but it can't steal your faith. Like, it just makes you want to go back and study and learn more, so that you can have an argument either to that or against that, and know what you're talking about. Then it will test your faith, so that you do that. But things that steal faith is like it's kind of worse, like using Christianity like a gangster to drive people to the pulpit out of fear, or like I don't know, but sometimes people get faith or belief in God from witnessing such evil that they are aware of its antithesis or counterbalance, like its opposite has to exist because of what they've seen being so evil or wicked. Tricking everybody, including myself, into supporting something not because it was the wrong thing, but because it was not the priority. Sinister, like. And even though people are gonna say, "See, look, you vote, you know, like I didn't, like, you know, like you support Trump or something, like, you see how you're wrong, like you guys got tricked too, and your guy would have done the same shit. They picked him before he was elected, which is illegal. You can't have designations on who should be president outside of an election, you know." So I'm not happy to hear this news and shit. I'm not happy to say it, report it, or anything like that. I'm like glad to finally know, but I'm not glad to hear it, because I don't want to be a bankrupt dollar in a week or two. Like, why don't I just run to the gas station and fill up right now? Like, if you're gonna try to fill up gas bottles and shit, like I don't think that's gonna be enough. So the way to be crash resistant right now is to be studying, and not just plants, but valuable items that people overlook or won't go to look for in the first days, like of a crash. Like, they'll walk right past this stuff because they're all looking for food. You got to be knowing what is actually going to be of any value at the time. And people have a lot of strange ideas about what that is, and then some people have the right ideas, and some of it's like, that's also temporary. Like, some people say, like, you know, get a lot of batteries. That's a temporary power move, like a temporary move. But then after like a few months or something, it's not really going to sustain you. You're going to have to really dig into your you have to actually, what it is you have to get nature to work for you. You have to live in balance with and know how to work with nature to get what you need instead of against it, which is everything up until now. Then we've been lulled into this false sense of security, until you can't win against nature anymore, then most people don't make a transition. Most people are locked in their metropolitan areas and can't escape. They're gonna think that I was smart or some kind of thing, like you had a foresight, but I didn't really have foresight, like, because I didn't know why. I just had this feeling, and I always felt like it was a little bit fringy and like crazy to think that you have to flee, you know, the area that you live in and shit. Plus, I didn't even know why, so you can't even give me credit for what I didn't actually know. I was just like, would like to be away from major metropolitan areas, closer to a spot in, you know, where you can cut away to some areas and eat, like, you know, mustard greens and kill a rabbit with a snare trap, or, you know, like, just in case. Like, I have a little eyedropper. It says bleach on there, because it's going to be part of purifying water, but it doesn't have any bleach in it yet. The bleach is in the trunk, you know. Like a couple of drops per, like, what is it, 2 drops per gallon. You still have to like filter, then purify and treat. It's like a 3-step, like, you don't like, but I know enough at least now to make water filters. There's this special kind of sand contraption that nobody would trust that you can drink water from it, but it actually grows cultures of bacteria on the top of it, which those bacteria are crucial to the water purification. This water purifier gets better the more that it's used, and you can't kill those. You can't kill that, because then you would just be starting from square one with a see, who would ever know that? Like, I don't know, it's like I was suspicious that we weren't stable. It's so easy to just close the Strait of Hormuz and then bomb oil assets to where we could be bankrupt, and that's how they would affect us without ever being able to lob a bomb at us or invade us.